Hello and welcome to the Tavern Chat cast, vidcast, podcast, cast. Today it's actually going to be, I guess you could say, about you, but I'm going to step away for a second because we got a voicemail, and the voicemail is from Randy from Biggus Geekus, and it'll kind of explain to you why I'm going to say this is going to be about you tonight.
Hey, Eric, don't feel bad about calling Joe Randy. Let's not forget, I'm the talent of Biggus Geekus. He's just one of those guys.
That's because yesterday I screwed up and I couldn't remember who the hell from Biggus Geekus called the show. And, yeah. What was it yesterday? All right, so it was Tuesday. In any case, it was a recent episode. I fucked up.
Really, I thought the cog thing was pretty cool. I think, though, you're not just a cog in the wheel. You might have been when you were in the police department, but dude, you're the man at Tenkar's Tavern.
And this is what I'm going to say, folks. This is really about you. Because, yes, the point that I was making about the whole cog, you're just a cog when you work for others, when you are a freelancer and all that stuff. But you aren't a cog when you do stuff for yourself, at least as your own boss. But really, in the end, who is your boss? Your boss is your audience. Your boss is your community, the people that you respond to, the people that you're hopefully creating, whatever it is you are creating, whether it is gaming content, whether it is gaming news, whether it's a blog, a podcast, a vidcast, whatever you're creating. If you have a community, if you have an audience, well, you know what? You're working for that. And that is better than pay. Okay? That is better than, all right, not if you have to make your bills. I am lucky. I am retired. I have a good pension. So I literally can work for goodwill, right? I can work for great feedback. I can almost, for those of you who believe in a higher power in the universe, I can work for karma. All right. Now, does that mean that I am not occasionally an asshole? Certainly I am. And there are times when I have totally fucked up and I have fallen on that sword. And I'm sure people out there go, well, you haven't fallen on the sword often enough. Maybe I haven't. Okay. But I have certainly owned my shit. Now, there are people out there that think, generally speaking, and it's probably not the listeners, because if you're listening, you probably don't have the opinion that Tenkar is just a dick, right? But there are people out there that have those feelings about me, and they're entitled to that. You know, maybe I have picked on individuals that they value, right? Maybe I said bad things about Ken Whitman or Gareth Sharka or Gil Gygax or anybody else who I feel has fucked over the community. Well, you know what? The world is not black and white. And even if I think I am correct, I might be incorrect on some aspects, and I own that. However, okay, this is what it comes down to. I literally work for you. All right? So that's why I say, if you like what you hear, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, comment on Facebook, leave a voicemail. If you look at the screen right now, you're going to see the voicemail number under me. All right, under the talking kid in front of the VR pub, you see a voicemail, 347-509-5168. Now, you can leave feedback about episodes that you've listened to. You can call and say, hey, did you hear this latest bullshit and whatever the latest Woods of the Coast bullshit that just happened, or whatever company you want to bitch about, or personality you want to complain about. Or if you go, hey, have you ever thought of comparing OD&D and Basic? And yes, I have, by the way. and the audiences that each one is geared for. Have you thought about talking about that? I'm open to all of this stuff because, like I said, I work for you. Okay. And if I have to have a boss, I'd rather have it be the community who is my boss because they give a shit about what I create and the content, whether it's this or Torchlight or creatures or magic items, whatever stuff they're putting up on the blog, sharing news releases and sales. If you care about what I create, then you are the person, the people that I work for. So I'm not a cog, right? I'm valued for what I'm doing. And it's not interchangeable. Okay. There are many vidcasters, there are many bloggers, but there's only one Tenkar, for good or ill. I like to think it's probably for good because I think that the singularity would probably fall in on itself if there was more than one Tenkar. That might be a bit dangerous. There is a Tenkara. My niece Shannon, her online handle is often Tenkara. So if you see a Tenkara online, it might be my niece. But again, I work for you. So I value feedback, whether it's good, bad, indifferent. Yeah, you do this great, but I really think that you say and ah way too fucking often, and I do, and I realize that, and I'm working on it, but I'm far from perfect. Let's go back to Randy for a second.
Appreciate the podcast. You made a lot of good points. Keep up the good work. Just wanted to say it's okay to refer to Joe as just those guys.
All right, so Biggus Geekus is, if you're going to listen to a gaming podcast that isn't a part of the Tenkar's Tavern cast network of Tavern Chat, Talking Crit, Dungeons, Dragons, and Discourse, and Iron Rations with myself and my various co-hosts who all bring more to this than I ever could on my own. Just, again, your feedback. If you don't want to leave a voicemail, and I can understand that because you know what? I hate cold calling. You can ask Rach about that. I'm going to make her call the hotel for North Texas because, again, I hate making cold calls. So Rach is going to have to make that phone call. And she's listening to me right now behind me, obscured by the virtual screen, and probably going, rolling her eyes. Fuck. But be that as it may, I am better for all of you. Okay, so when I say I give back to my community too, and I mentioned this last night when I was doing Talking Crit with Bad Mike. The next goal for this YouTube channel, now remember the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Eric Tenkar. Now, of course, in retrospect, I would have made it like Tenkar's Tavern if I was doing it now, but be it as it may, youtube.com/Eric Tenkar. We have about 365 subscribers. Our next big goal is 500. And when we hit 500, we are going to do a special episode of Talking Crit. And on that episode, I'm going to give away to people that are watching live. So even if you are somebody who listens just to the podcast, that's probably a night you're going to want to listen live. And comments, we are going to give away Drive-Thru RPG gift certificates. Now, I had initially thought I'd give away one valued at 500, but we got some feedback yesterday, and it was like, well, people like more prizes. So we're probably going to look at one for $250, one for $150, and one for $100. Still going to give out $500. And now, why is that? Why am I gifting this, just hitting a random number of 500 subscribers? Because it's your money. Okay, this is the money that is generated from affiliate links or sales of Tenkar's Tavern products like Swords and Wizardry Continual Light or Torchlight. Those profits are your money. Okay, it's coming from this community. So if I can give it back, I think that's awesome, and that's where it should go. So who does Tenkar work for? I work for you. All right. First off, don't let me forget that. And secondly, thank you, because that's the best boss I've probably ever had in my 53 years. So on that note, 347-509-5168, or if you're listening on Anchor, please leave your messages on Anchor. I do my best to play back damn near all of them on the show. I think that they are important to show the community's thoughts and feedback, but I would like more of it. And once I start getting a lot of it, you might not hear it all on the cast, but you might. Who knows? Who knows? Folks, we are still in the midst of the world of COVID. I've had my 2 COVID shots. Rach has had her 2 COVID shots. My parents had both theirs. I am not telling you, however, what to do, whether you should get a COVID shot or not. You know your health situation better than anybody else. Okay? I do know people that have had COVID, and it hasn't been pleasant for most of them. I'm not saying it actually hasn't been pleasant for any of them, but it's been a real bear for a couple of people. And I'm glad I avoided that. And I would like to see you avoid this. Now, what does that mean? It means use your common sense. All right. Take actions to keep yourself, your friends, your loved ones, your family, your community healthy and safe. What's your community? The community is where you live and where you socialize, right? So that's your community. You define your community. Be safe, be well, God bless. Roll those dice. Knock on wood, I should be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, with Joe the Lawyer, Iron Rations. Joe and I will have a lot of fun. A lot of feedback from the live audience. We're going to cause troubles, I'm sure. And we'll be talking D&D shit. All right, folks. I will talk with you all tomorrow. Oh, and if you catch this tonight, Tenkar's Tavern Discord server. Every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, we do a hangout in the Speakeasy. It's a live voice chat. We call it, of all things, Tavern Chat. That's what inspired this podcast. But we do a hangout, and you never know who's going to drop in. We love to have everybody drop in. The more, the merrier. And we are going to be doing this on Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. Eastern. So kind of getting people, the shift workers, those across the pond, those on the other side of the world. So we're trying to accommodate and involve the community. Because again, I work for you. All right, folks. On that note, I'm out of here. Laters.